Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Robert Montague resigns from cabinet following damning FLA report. Robert Montague has resigned from cabinet as minister without portfolio, capping a turbulent run as a minister of government over the past 6 years. The precise reasons are not known, but the resignation comes days after a damning Integrity Commission report on the Firearms Licensing Authority FLA cited him for unknowingly granting a firearm permit to 6 people with criminal traces while he was National Security Minister. As Security Minister from March 2016 to 2018, Montague was in charge of the FLA. Legislation gives the minister the power to recommend permits whether entirely of his own volition or on the recommendation of a review board. Montague's predecessor from the opposition People's National Party, Senator Peter Bunting, has also been named in the unfolding scandal. In a statement Thursday, Montague slammed the report as grossly misrepresentative and incomplete. At 11:59 late the evening, Montague sent a WhatsApp broadcast message saying that within the last hour, he gave Prime Minister Andrew Holness his resignation. The Office of the Prime Minister later issued a 4-line statement confirming that Montague tendered his resignation with immediate effect. Minister Montague expressed that it was a privilege to have the opportunity to serve at the highest level in government, said a spokesperson in the statement without mentioning any specific reasons. It's not certain whether Holness demanded the resignation. In his WhatsApp message, Montague said he has personal matters to deal with. I need the time and space to treat with these matters. I have to deal with them. I have retained a law firm, he added, referring to the Integrity Commission's report. In January, Holness stripped Montague, the chairman of the ruling Jamaica Labour Party (JLP), of the Transport and Mining Ministry and reassigned him as a minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. That followed the 2021 scandals involving the Airports Authority of Jamaica for breaking investment in start-up private equity from First Rock Capital Holdings and Clarendon Alumna Production Limited. Montague started as National Security Minister in 2016 when the JLP won power, but soon came the controversy involving the botching procurement of used cars for the police and the scandal of the Firearm Licensing Authority FLA over the issuance of license of persons of questionable character. The results of that FLA investigation were published last week. Montague is the Member of Parliament of St. Mary Western, and his departure from cabinet has been demanded by factions of the JLP that believe he did not support Holness in the leadership race in 2013. There were even calls for him to be removed as chairman last year. Reporters understand 2 days ago that Holness will have to mull whether Montague should remain in his cabinet. 2 U.S. residents charged in 21 confined at Kingston warehouse. 2 United States residents have been charged in connection to last week's seizure of 21 firearms at a warehouse at the wharf in Kingston. Charged with illegal importation of firearm are Jermaine Samuel Baker, a 36-year-old chef of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and Dervon Brown, a 42-year-old construction worker of Bronx, New York. They are to appear before the Corporate Era Gun Court on Friday, March 18. Police reports are that on March 4, Customs detected a suspicious package at the warehouse and alerted the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch of the Constabulary. A subsequent search led to the discovery of 3 rifles, 18 handguns, and more than 2,000 rounds of ammunition. It was the latest in a string of major arms bust by the police. JFJ wants Bunting relief of senator duties pending FLA probe. Advocacy group Jamaicans for Justice (JFJ) wants opposition leader Mark Golding to relieve former National Security Minister Peter Bunting of official duties in the Senate, pending further investigations into his granting of 2 firearm permits under controversial circumstances. Bunting is currently the opposition spokesperson on national security and leader of opposition business in the Senate. Robert Montague, another former National Security Minister, resigned over similar allegations. According to a special report by the Integrity Commission, Montague knowingly granted 6 gun permits to people with criminal traces. In Bunting's case, he has explained that he granted a permit to an offender 10 years after he committed a drug offense and after his criminal record was expunged. In the other matter, he said the permit holder was accused of assaulting his wife's relative, but there was no official police complaint. Both Montague and Bonding have denied doing wrongdoing, saying they were guided by a panel of experts that made up the FLA review board. Meanwhile, the JFG has lambasted the government for what it said can only be described as a state-sanctioned criminality, where public officials are alleged to be involved in issuing gun permits to known criminals. JFG contends that the sting of corruption that plagued the FLA must end, said a spokesperson in a statement. According to the JFG, unsavaging act of public officials, as described in the Commission's report, undermined their moral authority to effect crime-fighting measures. The lobby group said it is critical that further investigations are undertaken by the major organized and anti-corruption agency and the Financial Investigation Division to determine the level of culpability and whether charges or sanctions should also be laid against the former ministers. JFG also said it welcomes the decision of the Integrity Commission to refer the matter involving former FLA Deputy Chairman Dennis Meadows to the Commission's Director of Corruption Prosecution to decide whether to pursue charges. Meadows granted a firearm license to a relative with known criminal background. In the meantime, JFG has renewed calls for a comprehensive review of the FLA. The Prime Minister has announced that a review of the FLA is coming. JFG said the review should include removing the agency from exclusive control and making it a body of parliament. According to the JFG, board members should be appointed by the Governor General following consultation with both the Leader of Opposition and the Prime Minister. Notably, a body of parliament will still require curtailment of ministerial interferences, said a JFG spokesperson. ITA JCF to address nuisance of loud motorcycles. The Island Traffic Authority and the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch of the Jamaica Constabulary Force say they will be embarking on a joint operation to address the nuisance of excessively loud motorcycles, which have been causing disturbances in communities across the island. According to a release, complaints have been increasing as there have been an unusual level of noise emitted. The noise transmitted from these motorcycles is a result of the removal of the silencers from the muffler of the motorcycles. Director of the Island Traffic Authority, Kenut Hart, says the joint police operation seeks to send a strong message to motorcyclists who contribute to this issue. We are also appealing to companies who employ motorcyclists to transport their goods and services to ensure that the silencers are replaced in the bikes because we are going to address that matter once and for all, he stated. The joint operation will see officials from the ITA and JCF conducting spot checks on roadways. Motorcyclists will be assessed, and if they are found to have the silencer removed or the exhaust system modified, they will be removed from the roadway. Head of the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch, Assistant Commissioner of Police ACP Gary Mackenzie, says under the current road traffic regulations, motorcyclists can be charged for excessive noise. We will also depend on the ITA to do the necessary assessments also, and once the motorcycle is found to be defective, the plate will be removed and the motorcyclist must remedy defects, he noted. In the meantime, motorcyclists are being advised that motorcycles found to be unlicensed, uninsured, and without a valid certification of fitness will be held in the possession of the JCF. We are going after the money. Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson says law enforcement agencies will intensify their partnerships and coordinated operations to seize the unexplained wealth of criminals. According to a release, the commissioner, who was speaking at a digital press conference on Thursday, March 10, said the forfeiture of the proceeds of crime is critical in permanently dismantling criminal organizations. Through the collaborative efforts of the police working with the Financial Investigations Division FID, Customs and Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency MOCA, you will see more assets seized. You will see criminals forfeiting their ill-gotten gains. Let me serve notice today. We are going after the money, he said. The criminals we are dealing with are not poor, unattached youth who are hungry and destitute. Far from it. These are men and women who have made a conscious decision to pursue a life of crime and violence. They are amassing considerable amounts of wealth, and they are using that wealth to purchase guns, to hire gunmen and support gangs, he added. Major General Anderson encouraged the public to support the work of the law enforcement community by providing information that will lead to arrests, charges, and seizures. Criminals thrive when good people make the decision to do nothing. We are going after the money, but feel free to direct us to where we can find it, he urged. In the digital press conference held in partnership with the FID, Jamaica Customs Agency, and the MOCA, Commissioner Anderson also noted that strategic partnership are yielding results leading to several seizures and arrests. He said that over 1 week, the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF recovered 44 illegal guns and arrested 3 persons in connection with the 21 guns discovered by the Jamaica Customs Agency. We're strengthening that customs partnership in a big way. You're going to see a lot more activities in relation to that. We also seized another 23 weapons off the road that was in partnership with the Jamaica Defense Force JDF. We charged 14 persons so far related to those seizures, he informed. The formation of the JCF and JDF Joint Anti-Gang Task Force is another strategic partnership in addressing crime and violence. Meanwhile, the police commissioner pointed out that gangs thrive because of the border support system that they rely upon, and as such, law enforcement will be going after the relatives, friends, and associates who assist the criminals in their activities. The girlfriends and mothers who collect the extortion money, the school friends who register assets in their name, businesses that knowingly help them launder money, the family members and friends who try to clear the illegal weapons and ammunition, all of them are part of the gang, and all of them are our target, he warned. Chief Technical Director FID, Sylvain Hay, said the entity has signed 3 Memorandum of Understanding with the Integrity Commission, MOCA and JCF to provide a framework for information sharing, analysis, provision of financial profiles or documents for the prevention, detection, investigation, and prosecution of corruption, financial crimes, and revenue collection, among other things. He said another agreement will be signed shortly with the Jamaica Customs Agency. 45 new road licenses approved for Port Antonio to Buff Bay route. The Transport Authority has approved 45 taxi licenses for Port Antonio to Buff Bay route in Portland. The authority says this will add another 225 seats to the route. There have been complaints that there were not enough seats to serve the Portland community. Taxi operators who want to get licensed should contact any of the following associations to submit their applications: Port Antonio Eastern Taxi Association, Rural Taxi Association, Portland Taxi Association. Managing Director of the Transport Authority, Willard Hilton, says the agency is committed to fulfilling its responsibilities to ensure adequate legal public transportation. He says the authority's operations team will be monitoring the situation, and an assessment will be conducted over the next few months to determine the effectiveness of these additional routes. He is also encouraging PPV operators and commercial carriers to renew their road license before March 31 and avoid the late payment penalty. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.